Okay, guys. Let's do this. This is a good time. I'm here, you're here, and I'm like sitting on a bunch of Food Lion bags. So I wanted to do a quick update video because I know y'all are fascinated as to what I do. But this is me processing out loud. So I'm sorry if it's a little disjointed. How did our year end? It ended. It never really ended. Kind of just like fizzled out.
Oh, bother.
We got our work done. I'm really pleased with all the progress my kids made. In retrospect, now planning my new year, I think I'm going to make a more conscientious decision of reaching milestones progressively. I'm a very laid back person. I'm just not feeling how that's gone for the last 2 years. I feel like if I was a little more, not strict, but more goal oriented and how like our quarters go, like where I want us to be at the end of that quarter, we would have ended a little more thoroughly. Like, oh, we finished our books and now we are done. Instead of like, we'll finish them when we finish them. So that's kind of where I'm sitting. I think planning my new year out, I'm going to take my books that I have now and I'm going to set quarterly goals of where I want to be. I don't know if I have like the what's the word? Let me think of the word. Discipline, that's it. I don't think I have the discipline necessary to do a quarterly like reflection period. So I'm gonna hold you guys to holding me responsible for it. I've said it out loud, I've said it to the internet. I would like to do quarterly goals, but I want to leave them open-ended enough that I don't feel like if I don't make this goal, then we're gonna be so far behind halfway through the year. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, like that's kind of where I'm sitting. The other portion of that was that I put on a lot on my plate this year. Like I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't been posting very often. So I became more actively involved in my co-op, which was great. I always help, but this time around I took on a couple of additional jobs in addition to the teaching job I already do. But it took up time, man. It took up time. And then in addition, I also took on an active role in my church in the women's ministry, which I love. In thinking of this year, I was like, well, I'm gonna step back on a couple of these things. Nope, I took on additional roles. So I don't know. No, I think I'm just a people pleaser. I like saying yes to people. That's what it comes down to, guys. I just like saying yes. Help me, save me from myself. Anyway, so the end of the year ended and I just felt really stressed out because of all the different hats that I was wearing. And I said, forget it, let's just go on a road trip. Guys, I have found my calling in life. If I could just live in a van down by the river.
Living in a van down by the river.
And I have 6 children. We can't live in a van. But we went on a month-long road trip and it was so awesome. We saw so many cool things and my kids learned so much. It was extremely beneficial. We camped the whole way. We did not stay in any hotels. I loved it. When I got home, I was like, can we just keep going? I was planning a road trip up to Canada. I thought, wow, wouldn't it be so cool to like go to Prince Edward Island? We should just go up the East Coast. And my kids were like, can we just stay home for like a couple of weeks, maybe a month? Maybe let's do this next year.
I had a dream once.
So last year, I had a bit of a fiasco trying Lightning Literature. New to us this year, we were starting with a curriculum called Lightning Literature, and I was starting it with my 5th grader. So she struggles a little bit with reading comprehension. And oh, guys, and I'll link that video down below if you want to look at it. But I'm still not in love with our language arts. So in that vein, I recently found a new curriculum, English Lessons Through Literature by Kathy Jo. I love her name. Her name's Kathy Jo. I reached out to her and asked her about her curriculum, and she very generously offered me several of her books to look through. I was able to see the progression of it, and it looked phenomenal. So what she does is she combines classical with Charlotte Mason style, which is very interesting to me. I have slowly been making my way into more classical learning, which I don't know how that happened, and kind of that rigorous classical method, and then brings in Charlotte Mason as well, and I love that marriage. So I'm really interested to see how that would work. I kind of think kind of think I'm going to be using that with my first grader and see how it goes. She's got a workbook with copy work and different literary suggestions and that sort of thing. So it looks really interesting. I am on the fence about using it for my rising fourth grader. I think I was kind of debating whether or not to use, what's the purple book? Purple book, Learning Language Arts Through Literature. When I was looking through it though, it felt rather confusing. I really prefer an open and go curriculum just because I have so many kids. I do not have time to prep for work. I'm not sure if I'm sold on it. And then, let me go get what I'm getting for my sixth grader. Hold on a minute, let me go get it. Okay. Oh, it's in a bag. So I got a couple of things. Literature-inspired comprehensive language arts. And I got it for $12. Yes. But it looks really good in that it takes vocabulary words from the book. So it's doing a little bit of spelling and dictation. And it's creative writing in there as well. They've got a couple of projects. And I think the idea being is that you do one of these like once a quarter. And I chose The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I don't know, I'm really intrigued by it. My Abby and I have read The Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe, so she's already familiar with the story, which I'm interested to see if that helps with her comprehension. And of course it's C.S. Lewis, so I mean, like, how can you not? But I was a little concerned about grammar because she is good on grammar and I want to make sure that we kind of keep that trajectory. So I also got English Grammar Recitation #1 Student Workbook. And I know there's a teacher guide to it. I'm not going to use it. And it looks fairly uncomplicated. So, and it's Memorial Press, so I'm like totally into the classical here, right? Oh, I got this for my 8th grader. Do you want to see this? Word roots. She's doing IEW this year. So I got this to help supplement her IEW stuff. And this looks phenomenal. This looks really good. And it doesn't look too like dry. I mean, it is. It's going to be because it's root words. Oh, I got this Reading Detective. Why did I get this? I can't remember why I got this. So that's what I got. That's what I have. I really don't have anything for my 4th grader yet. Oh gosh, guys, I just don't know what I'm gonna do. I just don't like putting my eggs all in one basket. I mean, if I'm going to be exploring language arts and what works best for my family, I might as well put them in a couple of curriculums and see which one I really like. And then if one of them like totally bombs, I can just like be like, well, this one works really well. We can just, you know, tag team on this side. Yeah. What would you guys do? If you have a 4th grader, what are you doing for your 4th grader for English? Go ahead and share. I'd appreciate it. So we're all doing Right Start, except for my 8th grader who is going to be doing something called Mr. D Math. So look for a review of that next year. I'll be reviewing his classes. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic summer. If you have any kind of recommendations or things for me, let me know in the comments down below.